Is your ex dropping hints that they might actually want to get back together with you? That's what we're going to be talking about in this video. But first, my name is Clay with modernlove.life, where we help you get the great loving relationship that you're looking for without having to play mind games, without having to play hard to get, and without having to pretend to be someone or something that you are not. Because you, of course, deserve to be loved for the unique, amazing, and wonderful person that you are. And if you agree with me, if you want to help us out with this YouTube channel, please hit that thumbs up button for the YouTube algorithm and subscribe to this channel as well too, so that you can get notified whenever we upload new videos. Also, I did want to talk to you about communication in all of this video here. So we're going to be talking about communication, and if that is something that you do want work on, if you do want some help with communication, we do have our course called Effortless Connection. You can go ahead and find information on that right down below this video. Check it out. If it seems like a good fit for you, feel free to sign up. If not, no worries. But all right, let's go ahead and get into this. People can often get the sense that their ex is, trying to send them some sort of messages, hints that maybe they want to get back together. Maybe they have their doubts about the breakup. Maybe they are open to reconciliation. Maybe there's still hope there or something like that. And so how do you know if your ex is really doing this, or if maybe you're just reading too much into things? This is what we're going to be talking about. So the first way that you can kind of tell, or at least something that's going to point you in the direction that maybe they might be dropping hints, is, okay, yeah, maybe you're experiencing them saying, doing something, but we want to take a step back first and look at their overall personality. If their overall personality is that they're just not generally direct about things overall, they might be the kind of person that actually could be leaving you hints, right? If you know their personality better than I do. I probably don't know the details of your situation unless maybe we're working together, but I don't know your ex as well as you do. And so you just have to look at them and say, okay, are they someone who's maybe non-confrontational, indirect, something like that? And if that's the case, then, yeah, they might be the kind of person that potentially could be dropping hints for you. The second thing you might want to be thinking about when it comes to their personality is, are they prideful or maybe have a hard time admitting that they were wrong? If they are prideful or having a hard time admitting that they are wrong, if that's also part of their personality, they're probably not just going to come out directly and say, hey, I was wrong, let's get back together, right? They're probably going to just drop some hints, hope that you take a clue and kind of move things forward so that they can just be like, oh, well, okay, well, you wanted it anyway. All right, cool. We can get back together, right? So you have to look at their personality. Like, are they either indirect or like incredibly prideful? If so, these are two personality types that really kind of set the context for, yeah, they might be leaving you some hints here. By the way, if you do want to kind of understand more about what your ex is thinking, what their whole thought process is, you might want to check out this video series up here on what your ex is thinking. It goes through your ex's thought process, what their experience is, what their emotional journey is, and all of that. So definitely feel free to check that out if that's something that you haven't done so already. The next thing that we want to do is we want to look at some of the actual interactions that you've had. We want to look at, say, have you and your ex been having positive interactions recently? Now, the two of you broke up for whatever reason, right? There's all sorts of reasons why you might break up. Typically, it's the two of you don't see each other on the same team, poor communication, or lack of trust. But that can manifest itself in several different ways, countless different ways. And so if after the breakup, sure, maybe your ex has some degree of regret. Maybe they thought the grass would be greener on the other side or something like that. But typically, they're not just going to come back to you because of that. It can happen. Sure, I've been in that situation before. Yes, it can happen. But most likely, your ex is only going to want to get back together with you if, they are having positive interactions with you. If they can see, hey, maybe I was wrong about who I thought you were when we broke up. Maybe I was wrong about the fact that maybe we can't get along. And that means that the two of you are going to have to come together at some point and have a positive interaction that brings the two of you closer, that creates more of that positive momentum, that creates that foundation of emotional connection and all of that stuff. If you have had this at some point recently and you're starting to experience some of these kind of, confusing, is that a hint kind of behavior, then, yeah, that definitely could indicate maybe they're starting to have a change of heart. Maybe they're starting to open themselves up to the idea of the two of you working things out, having a future together. Or, maybe they're not at that point yet, but they're just saying like, hey, that was a really good experience. Let's do that again. So that's something to look out for. Another thing is that they have to be able to see that you're not the same person that they broke up with. So, okay, great. The two of you broke up for some reason. And okay, great. The two of you are interacting together in a positive way that's bringing the two of you closer. Excellent. But how are they going to know that this isn't just going to end up with another breakup when the problems come back, when the arguing comes back, when the cheating comes back, when the lying comes back, when the whatever comes back? They're going to need to know and see and observe that this is not the same situation that they walked out of. They're going to need to see that this is some sort of, improved dynamic between the two of you. That's not to say that, you're some horrible person and you need to reform your ways, because not every breakup is going to happen because of you. Yeah, I'm sure maybe you did have some role to contribute. Yes, most of us do have some role to contribute, but the dynamic between the two of you has to change. It has to be different. They have to understand that okay, this is not going to be the same thing that I walked out of in the first place. And on top of that, they have to be able to also see that yes, the two of you can enjoy getting along with one another. And if they're also one of those other personality types that we talked about earlier, and you're also seeing some behavior that you think might be a hint, like some sort of text message thing that's like, oh, hey, yeah, maybe we can work things out someday, or oh yeah, you maybe one of these nights you can come over and we can cuddle or something like that. Okay, maybe that's a hint. Maybe it is. And then, of course, the last thing that we want to also explore is you. How are you interacting in these situations? How are you behaving? And one of the big problems that I see so many people making when it comes to getting back together with their ex is that they often don't push things enough. And one of the metaphors I use for this is, let's say that you're in a dark room. You can't see where anything is. You can't see if there's some piece of furniture in front of you. You can't see if there's a wall or a door or whatever around. You're just dropped in the middle of this dark room. You want to get out to go somewhere else, and you don't know kind of what the geography of the room is. And so there's a couple different ways you can go about doing this. Now, obviously, in order to avoid tripping over something, smacking into something, you could just stand still. You could just do that. That would keep you from tripping, hurting yourself, but it's not going to get you anywhere. Unfortunately, this is how a lot of people actually interact with their ex. They just sort of stand still. They just sort of stay within some sort of comfort zone. And, yes, your ex might be sending you some hints, might be dropping some hints for you, but if you're just kind of staying in your comfort zone and not kind of moving forward to kind of explore what that might actually be, then you're not really going to know. And so what I generally recommend people do is that, if you're in a dark room, yes, you could just sort of jaunt across to the other side of the room and risk tripping over an ottoman or a couch or a chair or smacking into a wall or, whatever. But probably the safest thing to do is to just sort of slowly spread your arms out, kind of feel around. Okay, it doesn't seem like there's anything over here. All right, it's safe to go over here. Oh, wait, I feel something here. That feels like it might be a door or maybe a wall. Okay, so there's something over here. I know I probably shouldn't just lurch in this direction. How about over here? Okay. And so what we want to do is we want to actually feel out, push out that comfort zone a little bit so that we can get a sort of sense about the geography of the room. So if your ex is leaving things for you that could potentially be hints that they want to get back together, you want to start pushing that, exploring that, seeing how far you can go before you start to get some resistance or pushback from them. Once you actually get some resistance or pushback from them, that's going to give you information that you can then use to say, okay, this is what seems to be actually going on. Maybe they're uncomfortable with flirting. Okay, that tells us that there's maybe this high level of expectation. It's like all or nothing. Okay, maybe we need to drop that level of expectation. Or maybe they are uncomfortable getting emotionally open with you. Okay, why could that be? Is that because maybe they're emotionally closed off right now? They're still healing emotionally. They don't trust. Maybe it's because they're in a relationship with someone else, a rebound relationship, and they don't feel that it's right for that other partner. There could be be all sorts of other things, but until we actually start to get more feedback, we're not going to know how to respond to it. So if you are getting some hints from your ex, and maybe some of these other things that we've talked about in this video are lining up for you, then you want to also make sure that you're able to push things to the point where either, you keep going and hey, great, we're back together, or you start to get some resistance, and then that's going to tell you what sort of your next step is going to be. Now, obviously, you don't want to just go from 0 to 100 and get like big resistance. Hey, should we get back together? No. That's not going to give you enough information. What you want to do is you want to move slowly to the first point where you start to get some pushback. And when it's like, well, I just don't feel comfortable talking to you in that way. I just don't think that we should be doing that. Okay, that kind of tells you a little bit more in a subtle sort of sense in terms of how to navigate around the problem. And so these are some things that might let you know that your ex is dropping hints. These are some things that I think I've gone over about what you can do moving forward if you think they might be dropping hints. And if you do want to learn more about how to communicate with them, how to, kind of navigate through this dark room, so to speak, you might be interested in our course called Effortless Connection. Once again, that is down below in the description box. If it seems right for you, feel free to sign up. If it's not right for you, no worries. But once again, thank you so much for watching. If you did like this video, help a guy out with his YouTube channel, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and all that stuff out down below. It has been helping. I've watched our YouTube analytics and it's been steadily improving. So please hit that thumbs up button. And if you do want to learn more about what your ex is thinking, please feel free to check out this video series over here on exactly that topic, or feel free to check out this video right here. Once again, my name is Clay. Please take care, and I'll talk to you next time.